Raw dog.
Hello everybody and welcome to our final live video of the night. This one's a reaction video. We're going over to the world of mixed martial arts. Belal Muhammad, UFC welterweight champion, has injured his foot and he's out of his main event slot against Shavkat Rakhmonov at UFC 310 in December. Jay, we're jumping on to give our thoughts on who's going to be Shavkat's opponent. You have to assume, mate, wouldn't you, that it's going to be for the interim
you'd think so. But I mean, before I go on to that, I'd just like to say I was literally phone in hand about to hammer Belal Muhammad for being a pussy because of what he'd said about Conor and previous people his toe until I saw his toe. And then I nearly threw up. It's one of the worst injuries I have ever seen. It looked so painful. He's got a bone infection in his toe. He's had to have a cannula lining under his arm for IV antibiotics. God love him. God bless you, champ. Get well soon. That looks horrendous. So, yeah, it's nothing to do with him being scared. It's nothing to do with him being afraid. My guy is terribly injured. Anyway, the UFC rolls on. We have a fight card in December. Most of the champions, if not all of the champions, have defended at least once this year. We can't make Alex Poatan Pereira fight again this year.
No.
Please, God, no. Right? So, who are the realistic contenders? I straight away said give Leon Edwards a shot. I've just been informed Leon Edwards is out, is injured, he's not in camp. So, for me, it's got to be one of these three. Kamaru Usman, if he can get to 170, based on him being one of the longest reigning welterweight champions, what he did for the promotion, what he did as the champion, and he lost. Yeah, I mean, he got caught with a head kick and then lost on points to Leon Edwards. But, whether he lost to Hamzat.
A good fight against Hamzat, didn't he?
He did, and he took that at short notice at a weight division he'd never fought at. Jack Della Maddalena has done everything asked of him up to press, and he's pretty close. I think he's in the top 5. He might be 4, 5, maybe.
He beat Gilbert, didn't he? So he's there or thereabouts.
So he's there or thereabouts. And then Ian Garry. I mean, Ian Garry, I would say, is the least deserving of the three. He's not really beat anybody. I know he beat Michael.
It's the manner of his performances that isn't catching the imagination. He's winning, but he's winning on points.
He is. And, the biggest name on his record's Michael Venom Page, who's untested in the UFC.
Yeah, he did Jeff Neal and Venom Page, but he skirted round both of them, really.
But there's not many more people deserving of a world title fight at welterweight. Everybody else, they're the three names that I think are high enough off the rankings to maybe not deserve. I think Kamaru Usman deserves it just for the fact that he was the champ.
Do you think there could be a spanner in the works, mate, and they keep Shavkat on and just do a non-interim title fight, and then the likes of Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev could go on or something silly like that? Or do you think they'll just do Shavkat as a main event? Because let's be honest, Belal's not really a big name. Shavkat's not a big name. It wasn't the best pay-per-view in the world. There's a few decent fights in there, don't get me wrong. Pantoja's defense against what's his name? The guy who just come in from Japan. Akira.
I can't remember.
But yeah, it's an okay card, but it's not great, is it? Let's be honest. Like, do they try and bump it up? I don't know.
Well, listen to this then. This is how my mind works, right? Tom Aspinall Poatan.
He's gone there.
I had to go there, man. Tom Aspinall's dying for a fight.
Tom's in New York, isn't he?
He's there
in a couple of weeks.
Could be a warm-up fight before he fights John Jones. Chin Poatan. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just being out there as I normally am, but it's a fight that can be made. Pereira doesn't have to be in camp in terms of losing any weight. Just needs to put on 60 pounds. Tom Aspinall wants a fight and is ready to fight, and Poatan reckons he can beat Tom Aspinall. Put your money where your mouth is, then, big dog.
I'm not against the idea at all. I mean, personally, what I think is going to happen.
Dana.
Thank you later. Thank him later, Dana. Jay's Fight Talk, the matchmaker.
Anyway, don't he? You can have that one, Sean.
We already know Sean Shelby watches the show anyway. It's fine. My honest opinion on it is Ian Garry will fight Shavkat Rakhmonov, but the UFC seem to they like Ian Garry and they want him to keep winning. But I don't like the matchup for Ian Garry. I don't like the matchup for Ian Garry. You can't put Jack Della Maddalena against Shavkat Rakhmonov as a pay-per-view headliner. It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. I mean, Ian Gary or Kamaru Usman are the two fights that will sell the most.
Yeah, they're the ones that make the sense.
I don't think Kamaru. It's December. I mean, there's 6 weeks to fight yet. So I suppose Kamaru could get in shape. I'm not sure what kind of shape he's in, really. Does look to be doing a bit of training, but not hardcore training. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to make Aspinall and Poatan rush like that for December the 10th, are they? But, you know, for me, it would be the dream matchup. I'd love to see that fight. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Ian Gary's the easiest fight to make, isn't it? It's the least money for the UFC to have to pay out. He's
gathering a bit of a name for himself. I don't know if the Usman maybe, but he's lost 3 in a row, hasn't he? Technically, Usman. So it's like, you know, although he's still a star and whatever it is, it's like, you know, there's the Gary fights there, 2 undefeated guys, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, the problem they've got is the welterweight division at the moment is not that.
It's lacking stars, man. It's lacking stars. It has done really since Colby and Kamaru Usman finished their second fight. That was a big pay-per-view headliner at Madison Square Garden, wasn't it? But that hasn't been a huge.
I thought about Colby because I know Colby's training, but they're not going to.
I ain't fighting Shavkat. Nah, he's after money fights. Colby. Well, I don't know. It's a title shot. It's an title shot. Do
you know? I think he'd hold the record for like 4 title shots. Has he had 3 or 4?
Well, he's had 3, but he's been interim champion, hasn't he? He beat RDA all them years ago for the interim belt. So he's been interim champion and he's lost 3.
That's what I mean. He'd hold the record for most attempts and not winning it at 4 or something like that. But there's not many fights. You know, you're not going to put a Neil Magny or Jeff Neal or someone like that. I mean, he's done. Nah. I think he's beat Magny already, hasn't he, Shavkat?
Yeah, it's one of them too, man. It's one of them too. But obviously, let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. Who's gonna face Shavkat? Is Shavkat gonna keep his headline spot? Should I say? And is it gonna be an interim belt, or is it gonna be a new fight on the card? Is Shavkat gonna be removed from the card?
Come on, Tom
Aspinall Pereira from Jay's Fight Talk. I mean, sign me up for that one. But somehow I'm skeptical of that happening. But let us know obviously below, guys. Jay, massive thanks for coming on as always, my friend. And we'll see you for more MMA.